The Scorpio lunar eclipse that is peaking on May 5th of 2023 is a massively impactful event that is helping us wrap up a chapter that started in late 2021. And this is going to explain a lot of things. It's going to be extremely intense and somewhat chaotic, making us perhaps feel like we're losing our minds. But where exactly are we going to lose our minds, and what area of life should we focus on? Watch this video to learn what your horoscope is for the lunar eclipse happening in the sign of Scorpio. Hello and welcome back to the Be the Hero channel. My name is Isabelle and I help you understand who you are using personality typing and astrology. Now, before I dive into what the Scorpio eclipse is all about, hit the link in the description below to get your very own My Horoscope Made Me Do It hoodie. This hoodie's a little dirty right now, as you can see, because I wear it obsessively every single day and people seem to love it. So get yours now and link in the description below to let the world know how much you love astrology too. In this video, I'm going to cover what your horoscope is for the lunar eclipse happening in the sign of Scorpio on May 5th of 2023. But before I dive into that, a quick overview on the eclipse. If you want to learn more, you can check out my other video covering everything you need to know about this eclipse. But this is a very massively impactful full moon that has heightened qualities because a lunar eclipse acts as if it's a key chapter in our journey here on Earth. Eclipses take us one step closer on our path towards our highest selves and take us further on our hero's journey. So we had a series of eclipses in the signs of Taurus and Scorpio starting in late 2021, around November of 2021. And this whole series of eclipses highlighted themes around self-sufficiency and codependency. The North and South nodes were also in Taurus and Scorpio. Specifically, South node was in Scorpio. And the South node represents the qualities and traits we are supposed to move away from. So now, as we are experiencing this lunar eclipse in Scorpio, we can notice that some of our unhealthy behaviors are coming to light right now, and it can feel like we're slipping into old versions of ourselves that we don't want to be. However, this eclipse is acting as if it's a heightened full moon. So themes around full moons in general are things being brought to light. So you can find that during this time, certain unhealthy behaviors are being brought to light to finally be released. I like to think of this Scorpio eclipse as the epilogue chapter, or the beginning part of the epilogue chapter in the story that began of 2021. I do believe we are supposed to have a Taurus eclipse in the fall later that will also be wrapping up this chapter. But this is a very heightened and important event for wrapping up the story around releasing unhealthy codependent behaviors. And codependency doesn't always refer to relationships, which is why I have this list written right here of where these behaviors are going to show up for you. You have no idea how hard it is to try to write all this backwards because I have my camera facing me, and so I had to mirror all my words. So let's dive into how exactly this eclipse is going to affect you based on your sign. And I recommend that you look at your sun sign for once, actually, for eclipses, because eclipses have a longer effect on our lives, they tend to affect our longer term planets. So instead of looking at your rising, as we are normally taught to do for full moons and new moons, when it comes to eclipses, you most likely want to look at your sun sign, because looking back, that will be the thing that changed the most during this time. We'll start with myself, since I am egotistical. If you are an Aries sun, you are going to feel effects around your 8th house during this time. Shadows related to your shared finances or intimate life could be coming up during this time. What are unhealthy behaviors that you allow yourself to use in your intimate relationships? Do you have an unhealthy relationship with close relationships? Do you have unhealthy beliefs around those? This could be a time for Aries where secrets could be coming out now. The 8th house has to do everything with our intimacy, shared finances, secrets, and shadow self. So you could feel that during this time, you're releasing a lot of shadows around your deepest desires and your desires for intimacy and any forms of codependency at its finest. When, for Aries, since it's has its houses fixed in alignment with each of the zodiac signs, there's just so many themes for you coming up right now around codependency and intimacy and things you share with other people. How much do you want to share with other people? Do you have a good sense of independence? What are your deepest desires that you have not allowed yourself to embrace? Now's the time where you could be releasing those things that are holding you back from just fully living life and embracing the things that matter to you most and your deepest desires. If you are a Taurus sun, this is happening in your opposing sign or your opposing house, the 7th house. So really big themes of codependency in your one-on-one partnerships could be coming up during this time. Are there any manipulation tactics that you're playing out in your relationships? Do you have beliefs around what a relationship is supposed to be that are keeping you restricted and from fully being close to someone? Scorpio is the archetype of intimacy, and it shows us how we can truly connect with people. There might be things you need to release during this time that will help you connect with people better. You might notice conflicts coming up in your relationships during this time, specifically your one-on-one partnerships. And this doesn't always have to be your romantic partnership. This could be a business partner, a friend, someone who is very close to you and you interact with one-on-one. You might notice behaviors coming out during this time that are negative, and just remember to release them so that you can make room for better things. If you are a Gemini sun, this is happening in your 6th house of health. You might notice health issues surfacing during this time, and you might notice that you've gone to extremes in your health recently. Maybe your emotions or any sort of wounds or shadows are keeping you from living in full health. Is there something that needs to be released within you in order to make space for better health? Focus on your health and routines during this time and think about what unhealthy things you do or unhealthy obsessions are keeping you from living in full health. If you are a Cancer sun, the Scorpio eclipse happens for you in your 5th house, which means that you might have unhealthy obsessions in your realm of play. You might go to extremes in your play, or on the other end, have you not allowed yourself to enjoy life enough? Are you too hard on yourself? Are you keeping yourself restricted in some way? Maybe it's also possible that you expect too much from your romantic relationships and from the fun you have in life. Specifically, the fun you have in a playful way with other people. This is the time for you to notice those behaviors and release them and really align with what are your highest values in fun and romance that you want to live in alignment with. If you are a Libra sun, this happens in your 4th house of home and family, which means that conflict may surface for you in your family life. You might have troubles with family members or conflict in your home, or very simply, you could feel that a lot of deep-rooted childhood wounds are resurfacing during this time. And you can be wondering, why is this all coming up? Why do I feel so emotional? Why are all these issues from my childhood resurfacing now? Now's the time for you to really focus on those and pay attention to the wounds that you felt in the past and learn to let them go. Because again, the Scorpio eclipse is a huge release for you. If you are a Virgo sun, this happens in your 3rd house of everyday communication and everyday people. Now's the time for you to focus on how you talk to other people. Practice mindfulness at its finest. You might be utilizing unhealthy communication means or being unaware of how you speak, and this keeps you from living fully intimately with other people and fully fulfilled. So now's the time for you to focus on how do you speak to other people. Are there a lot of subconscious thoughts? Is there negative behaviors that are unconscious that you're using that are showing up in the way you connect with others? You can experience deeper connection with other people if you let go of these unhealthy characteristics that are controlling and truly governing how you speak with other people. You might also experience conflicts during this time with your siblings or people in your everyday life, but this is just a release to make room for better things. If you are I said that wrong earlier. If you were a Leo sun, that was your horoscope. It's happening in your 4th house. If you're a Libra, sun, then this is happening in your second house of money and finances. And this means that during this time, you're going to be releasing a lot of things related to how you make money and spend money, any self-limiting beliefs or extreme behaviors around your money and your sense of self-worth. So for you, this is a really big time to work on building a solid foundation, but you cannot build a solid foundation until you become aware of all the things that are keeping you limited, all the beliefs that are keeping you limited, all the obsessive behaviors and shadows that are keeping you from fully owning your worth and fully owning the material wealth that you desire. So this is a huge game changer time for you to release bad money blockages and release self-limiting beliefs. So pay attention to your sense of worthiness and your money right now. If you are a Scorpio, this is your first house, and so you are the star of the show. You could be cultivating a new sense of identity, letting go of old identities and beliefs, letting go of maybe ways you showed up in the world, or extracting yourself from unhealthy places where you feel like you are inauthentic. So focus during this time on who do you want to be and how you want to be going forward. If you are a Sagittarius, this happens in your 12th house, and this means that you will have likely a lot of feelings of being drained during this time. If you have strong Sagittarius energy in your chart or a Sagittarius sun, you might feel that you need more time alone and give that to yourself, because now's the time for you to dive into your subconscious and notice any unhealthy beliefs you have, notice any subconscious patterns. What patterns do you keep repeating in your life, and how is that rooted in a self-limiting belief? If you are a Capricorn, this happens in your 11th house of big dreams and community. So you could experience changes in your social spheres during this time, and you could also notice changes in what your dreams and aspirations are for the long term. You've recently, over the last year and a half, really tried to hone in on what you truly want the most, and you might find that you're supposed to move away more and more from these big visions and dreams and move towards just enjoying life more. But now's the time for you to focus on what you truly want and release any limiting beliefs and shadows and unhealthy behaviors that stand in the way of you attaining a healthy dose of meaning through your dreams and aspirations in life. And this also has to do with your community. So you might notice changes in your community. You could be releasing and letting go of things in your community. You could be bringing to light things that you realize you don't want in your community anymore and extracting yourself from social groups that no longer serve you. If you are an Aquarius, this happens in your 10th house of career. So now is the time for you to focus on what do you truly want from your career and what beliefs and obsessions and codependencies are holding you back from achieving that. Is there someone you're codependent on? Are you codependent on your career for a sense of fulfillment? Yes, we need a sense of meaning and recognition for what we do, but if we become too obsessive in a certain area of our lives, we become restricted. We're handcuffed to it. So Aquarius, during this time, notice your behaviors and work and notice what feels healthiest for you. And finally, if you are a Pisces sun, this happens in your 9th house, and you might notice that you're trying to seek a feeling of meaning in life and you just don't know how to achieve that. And you might have to notice unhealthy codependencies or beliefs that are coming up that keep you from feeling that sense of meaning in life. There you have it. That's a quick little horoscope for each zodiac sign for the Scorpio eclipse. Let me know what you're noticing come up for you in the comments below during this time. This is a very hectic time and it's a lot to process. I know it's a lot to process for me, even personally, as my South Node is fixed into Scorpio in my own chart. So this can be very hectic times for a lot of us. Let me know what you're struggling with in the comments below, and we're all here to support one another. While you're down there, grab the free birth chart workbook if you have not grabbed it yet already. I'm sure you know my whole spiel about it because you're likely a subscriber who's watching these videos. So you can grab the free birth chart workbook to understand your soul's unique energetic imprint using journal prompts in the link in the description below. Be sure to check out the Making Mindfulness Fun bundle if you want to learn more about all astrology and get access to 30 workbooks and courses for only $30. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out the rest of our videos breaking down Enneagram and astrology. Thank you guys so much for watching this, and from my heart to yours, namaste.